Preface. While writing the 21 Laws of Surviving a Gentleman's Club, a group of dancers that were aware of the idea were hesitant to embrace it. On one hand, they had an undeniable curiosity about a book that dared to talk about the inner workings of the jungle. But on the other hand, an author who has the audacity to speak from a patron's point of view and stress a concept about surviving the jungle had dancers back on their stripper heels. Survival? The patron? Are you serious? Some of the fiercest dancers in the world were actually afraid that the book would create a campaign of marching strip club goers with picket signs chanting, "No more rain, no more rain." Of course, that didn't happen, but they thought the purpose of the book was to knock their hustle and slow up their cash flow, not realizing that Law 16, Respect the Hustle, was strictly an endorsement of their profession and a salute to their hustler mentality. If you digest the contents of the 21 Laws of Surviving a Gentleman's Club, you will understand that one of the major themes of the book is the importance of the union between the regular and the favorite. It's the match made in strip club heaven. Not only does the entire industry exist because of this reciprocal yin and yang relationship, but also, quite frankly, both sides need each other to coexist. Strip away the titles and break everything down to the nitty-gritty, and seriously, what's an exotic dancer without a patron? And vice versa. So, given that the first book dealt with patrons entering and surviving the jungle, it's only right to hear from those who have to work in the jungle. Even though dancers were playfully referred to as predators, tigers, lions, vultures, etc., in the first installment of the 21 Laws, everyone knows all too well that the true predator is the jungle itself. It gives no mercy and no preferential treatment to anyone, especially not to dancers. Despite their predatory instincts to hunt ballers and clean out simpletons on the main floor, dancers are still prey to the very nature of the industry. There's only one law of the jungle: eat or be eaten. Dealing with shady management, savage patrons, and backstabbing strippers on a nightly basis can have the most experienced dancers suffering from yellow fever. With this project, several sharp and savvy dancers with colorful names, Nadia Ali, Dimples, Courtney, Nova, Honey Dip 2K, Egypt, Natasha, Jax, and Ayana, and from different backgrounds and locations: Los Angeles, Minnesota, Atlanta, Florida, Arizona, Houston, San Diego, Las Vegas, were consulted and conferred with about the goal of compiling 21 laws that will not only give aspiring dancers a rude awakening, but also give a behind-the-scenes look into a profession that has infiltrated the mainstream quicker than a hit song from Drake. Forget Aquarius, we are living in the age of the stripper. In these days and times, the spotlight on the stage is bigger than ever, and the competition for well-paying patrons is at an all-time high. As strip clubs across the nation continue to reinvent the wheel and redefine themselves with several mirroring traditional nightclubs and sports bars, too many impressionable women are flooding the market, looking for a quick payday and a boost in social media followers. But in actuality, they are ushering in a new level of naivete, recklessness, and unprofessionalism. As quoted by the great innovator and business titan Henry Ford, a market is never saturated with a good product, but it is very quickly saturated with a bad one. Exotic dancers that are in touch with reality and hip to the game have to deal with this influx of newbies who only see dollar signs and not the warning signs. Their eyes light up when they see an OD original dancer collecting heavy rain and living a jet-setter lifestyle, and automatically assume that they can do the same. I mean, what's so hard about raking up a bunch of cash and partying every night? I can do that. Not so fast. They don't realize that it takes a combination of emotional intelligence, a sexual sophistication, and ladylike discipline to make a living in the chaotic yet financially rewarding world of exotic dancing. One has to always be on their A game, and that A doesn't stand for ass. It stands for adaptability. So, while lawful patrons are busy endorsing their hierarchy of needs, the pyramid that represents the three main services that only a dancer can provide, and at the top is the coveted lap dance. Exotic dancers have to constantly adapt to their environment, seize the moment, and keep their stripper money cycle in constant motion, non-stop, with no brake pads or stop signs. This circular model identifies the three essential qualities that every exotic dancer must possess to not only make money on their shift, but to sustain a worthwhile career in the jungle. No dancer wants to hit the stage for mercy tips and empty compliments, and making the commitment to periodically enter the jungle and leave with little reward is heartbreaking. Money is the motive, and this circle represents the eternalness of the strip club game. Sex appeal. Regardless of a patron's individual taste and preference, face, body type, style, and flavor, every dancer must at least have some basic level of sex appeal to even exist in the jungle. Sex appeal allows one to enhance the fantasy, maintain the mystery, and activate a boiling lust inside the most reserved patron. The ability to break a neck, make a heart pound with anxiety, and spark an uninhibited imagination with thoughts of a one-night stand is utterly priceless. This sex appeal is mainly expressed visually, eye candy plus stripperware, but aura, body language, smell, and vibes play a huge part. Hustle. Hustle encompasses the daily grind. Along with the job being a hustle, a side hustle, or full-time, to have hustle is to be in tune with the requirements of the job, be keenly aware of the importance of customer service, and have a true understanding of the patron's hierarchy of needs. Whether providing a therapy session, a GFE, or a mind-blowing experience in a VIP booth, a positive and energetic attitude combined with an engaging personality and a relentless work ethic is a major key to success. Game. Game is the mental and physical chess match that is played with a patron to foster the relationship between the dancer's bag and the patron's money, turning a curious patron into a cherished regular who spends good money is an essential part of the game. Within the rules of engagement, initiating a flirty conversation, whispering sweet nothings, and telling beautiful lies, along with the magical power of touch, all are strategic ways to keep the patron coming back again and again and again. This holy trinity, sex appeal, hustle, and game, flows in unison and becomes one with the money. When all three qualities are clicking like clockwork, the money comes fast and consistent. In essence, time equals money. Not 1 second is wasted. But if one or two aspects of the stripper money cycle slow down severely or take a significant hit, the dancer's staying power dwindles and spirals out of sync, running the risk of stripper stagnation, a prolonged period of making little to no money. A dancer can have sex appeal that's off the charts, but without hustle and game, that sex appeal will flame out and become shallow. A dancer can out-hustle her competition, but without sex appeal and game, that hustle will become routine and run stale. A dancer can have all the game in the world, but without hustle and sex appeal, that game will come off as manipulative and shady. The goal is to always synchronize the three essential qualities. Like a hamster wheel, the cycle must be in a perpetual rotation at all times. It doesn't matter if you're working at a local spot hidden away in the Midwest, a buzzing gentleman's club in the French Quarter in New Orleans, or a standing room only club in the jungle of all jungles, Las Vegas. You can be the best twerker in the world, an experienced therapist with a long list of clients, or a certified pole assassin. The stripper money cycle applies to every exotic dancer that is serious about securing a bag on a consistent basis. If you want to make a living in the jungle, the cycle is the underlying source. Because once you're inside, deep in the trenches, working your tail off, you'll realize that there's no such thing as charity. Even donations come with the expectation of a return. The 21 Laws of Being an Exotic Dancer is the sacred text that deals with the intricacies of a racy profession that is based on providing a sexual fantasy while being entrenched in a carnal reality. Few jobs, especially legal ones, require you to balance, contrast, and merge the following dichotomies: business versus pleasure, predator versus prey, lies versus truth, fantasy versus reality. Like a sexier version of Lady Justice, you preside over those dichotomies. In one hand, you're holding a scale, carefully weighing the benefits of each dichotomy, and in the other hand, you're armed with a sword, exercising judgment and cutting through the bullshit with a swift force, minus the blindfold. Normally, men are the ones at the round table creating laws and discussing their purpose. But this book breaks the mold and offers dancers the chance to discuss strategy and agenda on a familiar stage, the main stage. Although this book contains humor, wordplay, and metaphors, by no means is this book meant for comic relief. Not securing a bag is no laughing matter. Similar to The Jungle, this book is rough around the edges. It's harsh, provocative, and direct. Maybe too direct for some. But the kid gloves are off. This is as raw as it gets. Laws 1 through 8, the bare necessities. Laws 9 through 13, stripper strategies. Laws 14 through 15, the sacred union. Laws 16 to 21, main floor memoirs. These 21 laws are the perfect counterpart to the patron's 21 laws. The conversation about life in the jungle continues. But don't get it twisted. This is not a battle of the sexes. That's what separates the 21 Laws collection from the rest. This is more like a meeting of the minds with a little added grind in the darkness of a VIP booth. And you already know who's going to come out victorious. Let's enter the jungle.